The narrow alleys of Kōjien's old quarter were never well lit, but tonight they seemed to swallow all light, leaving only an oppressive darkness that clung like a damp shroud. I walked alongside the dimly lit canal, the sound of dripping water echoing off the stone walls as I made my way towards Dr. Nakamura's clinic. As a nurse at Kōjien General Hospital, I'd grown accustomed to the peculiarities of our rural town. But lately, an unsettling sense had been building, something just beneath the surface of everyday life that refused to be acknowledged. The air seemed heavier with every passing day, as if Kōjien itself was slowly being reshaped into a more compliant version. Dr. Nakamura's clinic stood at the quarter's edge, its worn sign creaking in the wind like an old man's whisper. I pushed open the door and stepped inside where warm light spilled across the floor tiles. The waiting area was empty except for a young woman with her eyes fixed on some point beyond me. The nurse behind the reception desk looked up as I approached. "Tashiko," she said quietly, not looking away from whatever occupied the young woman's gaze. "Dr. Nakamura is expecting you." I followed the nurse down a narrow corridor to the doctor's office. Dr. Nakamura stood by the window, her eyes fixed on some distant point in the darkness outside. "Kiyomi," she said without turning towards me. Her voice was low and even, but beneath it lay a faint tremor that made my skin prickle. "Thank you for coming." I took a seat across from her desk as the young woman remained frozen in place. Dr. Nakamura turned back to face me. "Kiyomi," she said again, this time her voice rising slightly. "You know why I asked you here tonight?" The question hung in the air like an accusation before I found my voice. "No." Dr. Nakamura leaned forward, her eyes locking onto mine with a faint glimmer of desperation. "I've been experiencing changes," she said softly, as if sharing a terrible secret. Outside, the darkness seemed to grow thicker and more oppressive by the second, a living thing that pressed against the windows like an unseen hand. I felt it too, this creeping sense of dread that seeped into every pore and chilled me to my very core.